The View was complaining about everything Trump's ever done. What Biden did was perfect. Kamala was amazing. She was terrific. She was all the things.
Yeah, I did that.
And Trump is everything bad.
You think I could hop into one of them and drive it away? I'd love to just drive the hell out of here. Just get the hell out of this. I had such a good life. My life was great. And then I said, let's do this, darling. This will be a lot of fun.
Idi Amin, Hitler, Stalin, all rolled up into one, and Darth Vader.
The third week of the new administration is starting off with an all-out trade war against our biggest trading partners, China, Mexico, and Canada. And right before the show, a 1-month pause on tariffs against Mexico was announced. But here's how Canada says they're preparing to fight back. Take a look.
I want to speak directly to Americans. Tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump.
We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that. But long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that.
And Canadian citizens showed how they felt about these tariffs at NBA and NHL games over the weekend. Take a look.
Yo, before she goes any further, guys, look, I got a bunch of people that watch the show that got common sense. I know you do, because I attract people with common sense. Here's the thing, though, Johnson. Do you really think that Canada's upset because we're going to be hurt? Or they going to be hurt? Yeah, see, these elites, they could care less, because they're good, right? It's my thing here, though. Here's the thing. Why Canadians upset if it wouldn't be hurting them? There must be more pain on their side of the ball if they're upset. If we're only hurting ourselves, which is how Whoopi's reporting it, does that make any sense? Does it make any sense that America... Look, does it make any sense that Canada would be upset about us doing a tariff if they're going to retaliate, but we're going to feel most of the pain? I don't think that's how it's going to work. Yeah, I don't think Trudeau's operating in the best interest of America. I think Trudeau's operating in the best interest of Canada. And all I'm saying is, do this so-called trade war, who benefits more through this? Who's going to benefit more through this process? Is it going to be us or is it going to be them? And who's going to suffer more? Is it going to be us or is it going to be them? That's all. Because I don't think it makes sense what Whoopi's saying. Don't make sense at all. Oh, it's going to cost America. Is it going to cost Canada? Is it going to cost Mexico? You mean it costs them nothing? Then why do it? Right? Why do it if it costs them nothing? How do you leverage them into how are you getting them to do what you want them to do if it don't cost them nothing? I don't understand it. So Whoopi's not telling us a lot.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Never.
I'm sorry. And I have to say, even the conservative media is warning about the price Americans are going to pay for this. So, everybody's saying this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea. And of course, he's going to go along with it. So how will this impact everyone? Well, I'm not sure what that question is.
Are you even going to provide, I hope they're going to provide insight on how this impacts Canada? If it was so lopsided it only hurts us, why did Mexico and the United States already decide to push it back a month? That must have been a mutual beneficial pushback, right? So how can you say it's only going to hurt Americans? I'm just saying.
supposed to be. But erase that, and what do you think?
So Republicans have long been against tariffs, and there's a reason the Wall Street Journal, Rupert Murdoch's Wall Street Journal, is calling this the dumbest trade war in history.
Yep.
But I think the open question of people right now who are really nervous because these costs will fall to American consumers is this a bargaining chip for Trump because he wants to get something from these countries, or is he going to go full bore and commit to this? And there's early indications it may be a negotiating tactic. So the Mexican president, as you mentioned, came out and said there's a pause in the tariff. She's agreeing to send 10,000 Mexican troops to the U.S. border to help with border crossings. He's having a second call with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today, see if there may be a concession there. And I would just say this. I've traveled all over the world as part of U.S. delegations in diplomacy in my previous capacity. And what makes America the most powerful nation on earth is that we have friends and allies. And it's because we engage in international trade. We don't bully our friends. We show up and give international aid. And if we stop doing that, which is what I feel like Trump is leaning into, I'm not saying that that's fully what he's doing yet. We're ceding our role of global superpower to China because they will step in, they will show up, and they will be friends to the people that we're giving not a nice signal to in Canada and elsewhere.
That Wall Street Journal article she just referenced has a line which reminds us of the old Bernard Lewis joke. It's risky to be America's enemy, but it can be fatal to be its friend. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. He is signaling to our allies, long-held allies, largest trading partners. These are the people who vote with us in the international organizations. These are the people who send soldiers to go to war with us when we are fighting, in the Middle East, when we're fighting any sort of war. Canada sends its soldiers. These are the people that have been by us time and time again.
Why are Americans now reporting on how Canada and Mexico have been taking advantage of us? Why is that not part of the conversation? Like, I don't get this where we're just supposed to accept the narrative that Trump's doing this for fun. That this is just something to do. Like, what's the incentive? So, okay, even if I believe you, what's his incentive? He's already president. It's not to get reelected. Okay? Can't say that's what it is. So why would anybody want to change trade deals with Canada and Mexico? Why would a Democrat want to do it? Because I know since it's a Republican, that at least some of you that are not, even the woman over here that's Republican is not Republican. She's corporate. You say this same 2 weeks on the same bird, you know what I'm saying? But these are corporate Democrats, so they're really Republicans. But my point is, why can't anybody give me any information on what Trump is doing and why?
That send their pilots and their planes to help us put out our fires, literally and figuratively. These are our friends. And
we give them more money, dumbass. You goofball. We've been funding them. There is a surplus. They've been winning. Why do you think they do it? Dummy. Why do they do it? You can tell I don't like Eddie Navarro, can't you? I'm just saying it don't make any sense. How dumb do you have to be? Oh, it's because we're really nice people and we're best buddies. Nah, it's each other's interest. Gangs rock with each other because of interest. You saw The Wire. Marlo worked with Proposition Joe until he didn't. Slim Charles was working. He ended up working with the young boy Marlo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it made sense until it doesn't make sense anymore. I'm just saying, like, at some point. So let's stop acting like we just being bad friends. Now, this is bullshit. Folks, this is bullshit. Because they're not giving you anything on the other side of the ball. They're not even setting it up and then dismissing it. They're just not even talking about the relationship. I do not believe that Canada is kissed by the angels. Not the way they decimated their indigenous people, please. Come on, cut the shit. Cut the shit. In Mexico, come on there. The kids are getting cut off in the streets. Please. Please. Let's stop bullshitting one another. Let's not act like we talking about, so America's the bad guy, these are just the good guys, and we're just the mean, reptilians. Nah. Well, they've been doing this out of the kindness of their heart. They came and helped with our fires. What do we do for them?
And we are treating them like trash. We are bullying them. And
are we bullying them, saying, you get a trade deficit with us, you making a bunch of money off of us, we are saying stop. And we want something for that. Eddie DeVero's not even working for America. Look, guys, I know this sounds crazy, but damn. If you're a Black American, guys, Eddie DeVero should go back to Cuba. Eddie DeVero's from Cuba. Her people from Cuba should go back to Cuba. Push come to shove. Let the Latino dude tell me we got help in Honduras and El Salvador and Guatemala. We don't need the blacks. Well, Black people, we need America. This is where we live. We don't got nowhere else to go back to. So we need this to kind of work out. Stop listening to Eddie DeVero.
And it's as if, I look at this thing in Mexico and I'm thinking, okay, as if deporting good, hardworking immigrants wasn't enough.
You forgot illegal. You forgot the part where they didn't come to this country legally. You forgot that those people some of those people work off the books and take jobs from Americans. They get paid a lot less and will take jobs. Those companies can't outsource everything. Those companies would have to pay going rates if they want to stay in business. I know you don't give a shit because you work on The View. We get to do this all day and get a check. But some of us do things that, you can't outsource. This is funny.
As if emboldening the racial profiling and
racial profiling. Folks, I just told you to kick it out everybody that's undocumented. And they started with people that have records. Anna thinks those people should stay here. That's because Anna probably has security in her house, a whole big security system. Night security, if not security guards, got security stuff. She's probably somewhere. All these liberals, all these elites, these porcelain progressive and these elite limousine liberals. Some of these people, they live very well. They don't have the concerns that some of us do. Okay? Obviously, she does not. Or she would talk so stupidly. Okay? Every president has done what Trump is doing. That's what kills me. Every president has done what Trump is doing. Trump is nowhere near the amount of deportations that Biden just did in 2024. Nowhere near it. And she's got her head on fire. Her head wasn't on fire 6 months ago when it was Biden doing the deporting. Biden let a lot of people in, but he kicked out a lot more people too. Obama kicked out the most. But I don't remember her being on loud last 6 months ago with Biden. So the numbers of people that Trump has kicked out in less than 2 weeks is nothing compared to what Biden has done over the last year to get his numbers up because he was trying to get reelected. So this is all smoke and mirrors and nonsense.
Bigotry against Latinos wasn't enough. As if revoking temporary protective status for 500,000 Venezuelans.
Mexico trade agreements got nothing to do with Guatemala or El Salvadorians or Venezuelans. Why are you lumping all these people together to live in different countries? I know we had a trade agreement with Venezuela that's getting tariffed. Do we? Probably do. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, what they got to do with this? Oh, that's right. It's throw everything against the wall. It's Latino time. Sounds to me like you don't want racially profiling Mexicans. You're throwing them with everybody else.
Wasn't enough. As if bullying Panama wasn't enough.
Bullying Panama. I don't care about Panama. Why should I care about Panama? I care about downtown MLK Avenue here in D.C. I care about what's going on in Capitol Heights, Maryland. I care about what's going on right here in the sweet old U.S. of A. that black people are catching hell in. Why I never hear you this vehement about black people in America catching hell? Why I never hear you complaining? Black people are 50-something% of the homeless people in California, when we're only 4% of the population. Why I never see you yelling like this about that? Because you don't give a damn about what happens to black people. You care more about Panama. That's why Tim Black's got to keep doing what he's doing.
Now he's going to tax our tequila and avocados?
Yeah.
Yes, we will tax your tequila and avocados. You don't need it anyway.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, I think it'll make sense when you want to get some tequila and it's really high. Because
I already brought mine. Stop drinking tequila, drink vodka or the local IPA. Get you some Coke 45.
of it is really high. I think that what people fail to realize, many people, is how interconnected our economies are. You know, they're like, America first, America first. Let's make everything here. Let's do everything here. Let's be very insulated. And that sounds good. It sounds patriotic, but we are geopolitically connected to the rest of the world.
We are getting the short end of the stick. But see, she's got a stick up her ass. And she's doing well. She doesn't care. She doesn't care if working people are getting a short end of the stick in America. Something's got to change. Something ain't working right. Something ain't working right. Something needs to be fixed. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if tariffs are going to fix it. But I see, this is the way I look at it, guys. Something needs to change, and I'm down for America trying things. I know people are upset. RFK is going to do this and do that. Well, you know what? Too many kids got ADHD. Too many kids are born with autism. Let's find out. Let's try something different. What are you scared of? Let's try something different. Trump is not going to be president forever. Let's try something different. You know what? People get to try shit. Yeah, we get to try shit. Because for us, it sucks. See, it's going well for you. So you're like, why change it? It ain't broke. But for those of us it's broke for, it ain't working for, we need to change something because what's working ain't working for us. That's why I say, folks, they've been talking a lot about civil war. Civil war. It's going to be a civil war. All the racial tension, all the division. America's never been so divided. Never before has it been so divided. I can think of a time it was more divided. There were separate bathrooms for blacks and whites. They call it being divided, having separate bathrooms for men and women. Loopy. Don't make sense. Yeah. The class war will be the war. It will be the Civil War. It will be people like Whoopi and Sonny and Anna on one side, and people like you and I, who live in the real world to play real bills. As if Sonny really gives a shit about the price of an avocado. You know what's funny? Or Anna. You know what's funny? Back during the election when Kamala was running and everybody was complaining about prices, these assholes weren't even talking about prices. Nah, they weren't talking about prices. Back when Americans were talking about the cost of goods, we were talking about inflation, these assholes were sitting on this show playing down these problems. They were supporting Biden, even though inflation was higher than it needed to be. Yeah. But now, they're sticklers. Now they care. Now, because Trump said, now all of a sudden, prices matter.
We don't want to be isolated from everyone else. And I'll just say, Mexico, Canada, and China together accounted for more than 40% of total U.S. imports last year. But more importantly, Canada and Mexico are the top buyers of U.S. exports in more than 72% of all export categories. 72%. We send our stuff over there. So now if there are these tariffs, that's going to cause problems, billions of dollars of problems.
Here's the problem. The problem is you're not talking about the bottom line. It doesn't matter if we got 72% of our goods going over there. At the end of the day, why is it that they get a better deal than us? Why are they making more money off of it than us? Maybe America needs to change that. You can't sit here and tell me that there's no incentive for renegotiating these deals. Can't tell me that. Because why would America want to why would Trump want to renegotiate a sweetheart deal? I was asking. Why would Trump want to renegotiate a sweetheart deal? If we had a great deal, according to you, Sonny, why would we ever want to change it? What are you not telling me? See, I'm sure a lot of people in independent media covered this. Did they get basic? Do they have basic, reason on this? Because to me, if it's a great deal, why would anybody spark beef? Or have they convinced you that Trump is that crazy? That things could be going well, we get a great deal, and he makes noise about it. He causes problems about a great deal. It blows the greatest deal that's ever happened. Yeah, according to these people, they would have you believe that America has the best deal you could possibly have with Mexico and Canada and China. And now Trump's going to screw it up, just to screw it up. You really believe that? Now, I know you've been listening to them tell you bad things about Trump for 10 years. I understand. I was here too. But a reasonable person has to consider maybe something. Is there a little part of you that says maybe he's on to something? Why all the hand-wringing and gaslighting and pearl clutching? It's got to be a reason. Aren't you curious? Why are they pushing back so hard? We got crippling sanctions with some other countries. We have some sanctions on some other countries that are debilitating, that smother those countries. Should be considered outright murder, what we're doing in some of these countries. You don't hear them talking about that shit. You don't hear them complaining about it. Folks, I'm trying to tell you. I'm a U.S. politics guy. But I'm also reasonable. There's a reason. They're not telling us. They don't want us to know. I'm going to find out, Johnson. We're going to find out because they won't tell us.
Problems. And if the tariffs, if they in turn return the tariffs, let's say it's your coffee, you have a coffee store, and you're going to sell a cup of coffee, and your coffee is $5. We know how expensive coffee is, right? Yeah. You sell coffee for $5. Now the coffee beans coming in from Mexico are now $5.
We don't got to get coffee from Mexico. There's other places to get coffee.
$5 more. You think if I own that shop, I'm going to eat that $5? No. Your cup of coffee just costs $10.
And then I don't get coffee from you. Fuck you. Case closed. Face closed. Yeah, I don't have to get coffee from you. So that's going to work. Or get locally grown coffee. How about that? Yeah. This coffee here in America, get local coffee. I have some local grinder suppliers here in Maryland. You go to the store, you see the local stuff, maybe we'd have to support Black businesses. I don't know. Maybe you could promote supporting local Black businesses, Sonny, since you say you are Black. You be claiming that shit? Huh? Especially when you ever feel attacked. You say we. Won't you take, why aren't people taking this opportunity? See, this is the difference between them and me. Okay? And this is the difference between me and a lot of people that call themselves supporting the black community. I really do. That's the difference. And I'm saying I'm looking for opportunities to support black wealth, black growth on real shit. So why they complain that there's going to be a tariff for Mexico, I'm like, well, wouldn't it make sense now for Al Sharpton and the rest of these assholes, Roland Martin, and all these other people that complain all the time about, instead of crying for white people with a taco in their purse, for this white on white crime that's happening, these people that come over and check white anyway, won't we work to get some black businesses up and running? Won't we change to local black businesses? Isn't that who you're supposed to be advocating for, Roland Martin Unfiltered? Isn't that what you should be doing, Toure? Isn't that what you should be doing, other black person who talks all this smack? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you advocating? Why are you repeating the talking points from cable news when you got black businesses catching hell? Won't we now take this opportunity to amp black businesses? Why not? They're there, they're available. You mean there are some local distributors? I know there's distributors in California and Maryland and DC, all over the country. I was one time partnered with a local coffee company that sold Tim Black coffee. Grown here in the United States. Was sourced here in the US. So I'm just saying there's other ways, there's other things to do. There will not be a shortage. There are other tequilas. And there's other drinks. And let's stop acting like that's a necessity. Anyway. Nah, I just questioned. I questioned the pearl clutching, the gaslighting. The people act like the world is ending. Now, let's see what this is. I want to see what's going on. Let's see what happens. What's the purpose? What's the risk? What's the upside? There's no upside? So you mean to tell me Trump is going into this with no idea what the upside could be at all? That's when you know people are lying. The people are full of shit. Who does something with no goal in mind? No goal, no upside, just all downside. That's the purpose? Sonny thinks we're dumb. Are we this dumb? Are we dumb enough to listen to her? Really? And believe she got our best interests at heart? Hey, Sonny. That's you, Siri. Hey, Sonny Hostin. Hey, Sonny Hostin. How's the lawsuit against your husband going? You know, the largest RICO lawsuit in the history of New York City. How's that going? Kind of quiet about that.
Well,
And that's the deal.
Sonny, when you talk about the interconnectedness, a vehicle made in North America goes across all the borders multiple times until it's actually done. But the part that gets me here is Donald Trump won on the economy and immigration. That's what we keep saying. Those were the two leading things. We talked so much about, well, what happened? Why aren't the price of eggs getting better? This was the other part he promised, which was tariffs. So in some ways, sometimes you get what you voted for, which is the people that voted for him. He told us this was going to happen. And he won anyone making under $50,000. He won in spades. So people with the least, the people that will feel this the most. Sonny, you speak of your $5, now $10 cup of metaphorical coffee.
What about your eggs?
Well, the eggs. But my point here is
Eggs
that
are so
the
expensive,
people,
we're gonna have to cut our potatoes this
Everyone
Easter.
everyone is gonna feel this, but there's a lot of people, I would argue, at this table who are gonna feel it less.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, where was all this concern about price when it was under Biden and under Kamala Harris? Yeah, like there was no concern about price. I don't remember a single segment where Anna was comparing or complaining about the cost. Where was that segment? Where was this lady complaining about cost of goods and services? Everybody was so quiet. And we were talking about prices. We're talking about people having literally to cut their arm off to get a chicken wing. It was an arm and a leg to get an arm and a leg. And now These people are jumping out the gym over costs they think might occur. When the actual costs were through the roof, they were quiet because it was a Democrat in office. Now, the idea that there might be an increase has them jumping out the gym sounding all the alarms. But when it was actually, now, look, when there was a fire, you didn't want to leave the house. And now, someone's got a box of matches and you're scared shitless. It don't make sense. They don't even try to hide the biased bullshit. They're not even trying to fool you. They do it in your face. They play in your face literally. And then poke you in the nose and say, I dare you to see through it. And some of us go, what's happening? I don't know what's going on. You wait for permission to call these people what they are. Fakes, phonies, scam artists. That's what they are, Johnson. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there, Johnson. I think that's enough for tonight. Yeah, I think that's enough. Yeah, folks, we can't. I'm going to go ahead and say the jury's out on this. I don't care. Like, they talking a game. They're saying that Trump is totally in the wrong. This is going to hurt people. Nah, man, we got to be smart at this. You have to be able to present both sides of the argument. They have all the resources. They have all the ability to provide you with the full understanding of what's happening. And they can come up the same way. They can come up on the same side. You know? They can still say Trump is evil. Trump is bad. Orange man bad. They can say that. But they won't even present the counter argument. They won't present the counter argument and shoot it down. That makes me believe that there is a true, solid argument. If not, they would be presenting it. It's like Trump would have tried to call with his feet. You know, like, no, why would you want to drive your car with the feet? You'd have to have a reason. Why would he want to do that? They won't even present the argument for driving the car. Like, I don't get it. We have to be smarter than just taking the hook, line, and sinker. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't let these people just tell you anything. It's the okie doke all day long, Johnson. It's the okie doke. And I don't think America's going to go for it. I know I'm not going to go for it. Look, at the end of the day, Trump's different things he's trying. Hey, I'm down for him trying it. I'm down with him trying it. You know why? Because what was going on before wasn't working for working class black folks. It wasn't working too well for you either. Working class white people, working class Latinos, working class Asians. The entire working class, it wasn't working for you. Okay? So let's see what happens. You know, America can always go back to being bloated, oversaturated with bullshit policies. They can always go back to that. That's its default setting. Okay? You got an opportunity for some things to change. See if the change works. What you got to lose? Is that the president of forever? Just the president of the United States. That's what losing does, though. Hey, Democrats, Blue Klux Klan, you lost. This is why winning is important. This is why it's important to listen to black voters and working class voters and voters who don't agree with the bullshit you be doing. That's why it's important to listen. That's why just bringing in a bunch of elites and celebrities to dance at your rallies might not get it done. You know, maybe next time the focus won't be, hey, can Megan Thee Stallion come shake her ass and twerk at the thing? Can you do that? Maybe the focus won't be, hey, can I pay Oprah $1 million? Hey, CBS, could you fix my answer to your question? Now, maybe your focus should be, what do people really want? And can we give it to them? All right, guys, I'm Tim Black. Thank you for tuning into the show. It's good to have you. Share this with somebody. Can I get a retweet? Can I get a repost? YouTube, can I get some shares? And let's go to comments.